Golden Flashes and Rockets on Saturday. We'll get into that in a moment. But first, Pete Seymour from the Toledo Rocket Radio Network. Let's talk about those Golden Falcons and what they did against the Rockets last Saturday.
Yeah, my goodness, Mark. And first of all, thanks for having me. As always, very much appreciate it. No, you couldn't script a better first half for Toledo. I mean, 21-0 at the halftime break. And from the beginning, Mark, I love the play calling. Taking the top off, Junior Vandeross, first play of the game. They march down the field. You think, wow, this Toledo offense is clicking on all cylinders. Defense doing what they have done all year, one of the best in the entire FBS, but obviously that all changed come the halftime break.
Yeah, Bowling Green said defensively they simplified some things in the second half, and I thought the BG front seven really spent a lot of time in that Rocket backfield in the second half, and that was part of the reason why the Rockets couldn't move the ball.
Absolutely, and you have to give a ton of credit to Bowling Green. I mean, they went in at halftime, they made adjustments. This was their backup quarterback, Lucian Anderson, who had barely thrown any passes on the year. They had to figure out ways, number one, stop the Toledo offense, which was rolling at that point, and number two, figure out how to get some points on the board themselves. And it took some creativity, and they went deep into the playbook like you do in some rivalry games. But yeah, I don't want to say I was surprised because like we talked about last week, Mark, anything can happen in this game. But I just hadn't seen a comeback like that in quite some time when one team was just dominating. And I'm down there on the sidelines going through the stats. Where is this thing going wrong right now? You know, Toledo's up in 180 yards in that category. And special teams, you know, that was something I pointed out last week. Both special teams units played pretty well. Bowling Green, though, was really good. And, yeah, give credit to the Falcons. They came out and took it to Toledo in the second half. And it was a lot of what they did and some of what Toledo didn't do. But, again, give credit where it's due. It started with that BG front seven. They made the adjustments they needed and got the job done.
As you mentioned, Toledo, a big disparity in yardage. They had a lot more yards than the Bowling Green Falcons. So it comes back to what coaches like to call hidden yardage, which a lot of times you see that in special teams. A lot of times you see that in penalties. And that's one of the areas where the Rockets were hurt. 13 penalties, 9 of those coming in the second half, and a lot of those coming on special teams.
Yeah, something that we really haven't seen all year. I know in the past penalties have been a little wishy-washy for the Toledo football team, but not this season. I mean, they have played a lot of clean football games, and yeah, that's number one. When you're looking down the box score at the end of the game, I think we talked last week, I said special teams was going to be one, penalties might be two, and yeah, you don't see that, especially out of a Stanton Weber coached group. Again, give Bowling Green credit. I want to say they were maybe starting a few things that Toledo ended up finishing and getting flagged for. Yeah, it was just a tough one, real tough second half for the Rockets, and they have a big week, huge week this week to bounce back and get on the right track because that is a tough loss.
Rockets lost at Kentucky, not unexpected, lost to Western Michigan. That was a tough loss. Lost to Bowling Green. All those games on the road, all of those tough losses. How many more body blows can this team withstand this season?
Yeah, that's a great question, Mark, especially being on the road. Again, we haven't seen this out of the Toledo football team. They usually go on the road. Heck, Mississippi State last year and play really well. There's really not much of a drop-off between being at home and on the road, and it's even more confusing to me when you have a quarterback that's used to this. I mean, Tucker's used to this, and I don't want to put the blame on Tucker Gleason. That wasn't his fault on Saturday. No, it's a team game. But yeah, the Rockets, it's good they're going to be home this week, but then in 2 weeks it's Washington State, and they're going to have to go face those same demons again.
I think one of the interesting points that's been brought up in the aftermath is that you've got Jason Candle, veteran head coach. He is the offensive play caller. You look at what happened a couple years ago with Ohio State, where Ryan Day ran into his issues. He gave up play calling last year to Chip Kelly. Brian Hartline's doing the play calling for the Buckeyes this year. Is that maybe something that the Rockets want to look to? Is have Candle cede some of that play calling so he can be more of that CEO overlooking the entire aspect of the team?
You know, that's a great question, Mark, and I don't have a straight answer for you. I think that may be a start somewhere. But again, Coach Candle was the offense coordinator under the squad, under Matt Campbell before he took over the head coaching duties. So obviously the guy knows what he's doing, and this is a great offense. I mean, how many times this year have they put up over 500 yards? Just to see the difference from the first half to the second half is something truly in my time covering the Rockets I hadn't seen. So that is a very good question, and I guess we'll see what happens down the road. But, you know, Candle does have a proven pedigree of calling plays. Just see if it's that time or not.
So the Rockets have to take the advice of Bob Seger and turn the page, move on to Kent State. A Golden Flashes team coming into the Glass Bowl. Not a great Golden Flashes team, but at this point in the season, the Rockets need any win they can get.
Absolutely. A much improved team from the Kent State team that we saw a few years ago that, frankly, just wasn't very good at all in a lot of different categories for a few different reasons. They had a lot of guys transfer out, getting that NLI money starting to roll in a little bit for Kent State. But no, it was a good win for Kent State against UMass. And Mark, you know, any team that comes in that puts up 42 points and has some momentum, they have confidence now. I mean, this is a team with confidence. Their quarterback won the starting job. It was a split job for the first few weeks. Quarterback wins the starting job. He's playing with confidence. They have a few good playmakers on the outside. I think it's going to once again come down to who's going to win the game on the outside, and can this Toledo secondary shut down what Kent State has to offer? And that should be really the interesting battle. And I hadn't seen Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I get it was a trick play, but they got Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, Bowling Green, that is, to bite on that little trick play. And yeah, there haven't been many holes in that secondary for Toledo this year, but Bowling Green found them. They have to tighten it up just a little bit for Kent State to come in, because they have some playmakers.
And looking at that Kent State roster, a couple of local connections. Former Toledo Central Catholic linebacker Samaj Cross, he is with the Golden Flashes, transferred in from Lafayette. And you know Napoleon's going to be keeping a close eye on the Glass Bowl on Saturday, as we'll have the Battle of the Rubensteins. Tanner now with the Rockets, and you have Trey, his first season with Kent State. So it'll be an interesting thing to see brother going up against brother, literally, on Saturday in the Glass Bowl. Pete Seymour, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Mark. Thanks for having me. Go Rockets.